We have found the evidence that proves that this Obama-led intelligence community assessment was a contrived document that was knowingly made using fake intelligence or substandard intelligence in order to drive this conclusion that President Obama wanted to see, which was that Russia helped Donald Trump get elected in 2016.
That meeting Sandra just mentioned just wrapped up moments ago. Maxwell was escorted back to the prison from the courthouse in Tallahassee. Her attorney said they had a, quote, productive meeting with Blanche, but details of their talks still remain under wraps right now.
Well, he said a lot. We wish we could be in and hear what was said in the actual meeting. This meeting was a lot shorter than it was yesterday, but this was a two-day event. The highlight, though, it appears that her team wants a partisan.
What I say is that Todd is a great attorney. But you ought to be speaking about Larry Summers. You ought to be speaking about some of his friends that are hedge fund guys. They're all over the place. You ought to be speaking about Bill Clinton, who went to the island 28 times. I never went to the island.
Welcome back to Resistance Chicks. I'm one of your hosts, Michelle. Leah was just here on camera. Boom, she's been raptured away. She'll be back any second. Welcome back. It's Headline News Friday, which means we're going to bring you this week's top news stories. And where do we begin? There are so many, I can't even wrap my brain around it. Although it's more Epstein. This time we're hearing from Ghislaine Maxwell, the monster mistress herself, talking to the DOJ, which is absolutely fascinating. And Ghislaine is saying she's willing to talk. She's willing to name names. She's willing to have heads rolls as long as she gets a pardon. Now, speaking of naming names, who else is naming names, Leah?
Trump.
Donald Trump, you just saw that. Larry Ellison and so many others. He's all of a sudden going, I ain't never went to no island. I didn't go to the island. You know who went to the island? Bill Clinton. Now, that is what we all expected to hear from Donald Trump. So when he was coming out with all of this nonsense, is that door open? That said,
Cooper.
he can go up there, but I just need to make sure the door's open. All this nonsense. We got a dog we're watching here. Hi, Coopy Doopy. His name's Cooper. He's just a little Bouchon Frise, little chunky monkey, so cute. I expected fully Donald Trump to come out with like, all right, we're going to name the names. You know, this is back when I was a Trump supporter. We're going to name names. We're going to watch the head rolls. You know, I ain't never been to no island. Clinton went to the island 28 times. That's what we all expected. We didn't expect Donald Trump to come out with like, there is no list. Stop talking about the list. Epstein is fake news. Okay. So then they come out with this amazing, like, make everybody so happy. Let me know on the audio here, guys, because we were messing around. I'm going to get to this in a second, but we were messing around with switching out some audio stuff today and didn't actually get it done, but I just want to make sure everything's okay. So let me know on the audio. I'm gonna address that in 1 second. But when it comes to the Russia hoax, you guys remember the PP Gate saying that Trump had these fetishes of women peeing on sheets and all this stuff and Russia disinformation and all this, that, and the other, okay? We all know, I know, and I don't even support this man anymore, okay? And they always make me, like, defend him. I voted for this man in 2020. I still believe he won in 2020. Like okay, so I'm sorry. Like you're not going to get that away from me, right? So you got this Hillary Clinton, 2016. At this point, what difference does it make? Bleach bit, all this, that, and the other. Fast forward 4 years. We, the Patriots, are trying to say, hey, there's something with this Hunter Biden laptop. Okay, pumpkin. We're like, could you look at the Hunter Biden laptop? They don't look at, they call it disinformation. It's Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia is putting out this big giant smear campaign against, Biden and Hunter Biden and all this, that, and the other. And so then you have this Barack Obama, play. Now, we know that Barack Obama was behind the scenes the entire time that Trump was president for 4 years. Okay. So we have two issues. We have the things leading up to 2016, Russia, 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 PP-gate, and we have the Hunter Biden laptop in 2020. Both elections, big issues. Who was behind all of it, starting all the way in 2016, leading up to both elections, the 2016 election, the 2020 election. Tulsi Gabbard has come out and she's saying we have unequivocal evidence that Barack Obama was behind the 2016 PP-gate disinformation, misinformation, Russia, Russia, Russia hoax that they all kept saying Trump's tied to Russia, Trump's tied to Russia. They carried that for 4 years. They carried that through for almost 8 years. Okay. We have heard it so many times. So my opinion has been this entire time that Trump was on the list, the Epstein list. And at first he was going to just try to brush it to the side, like get his supporters to say, we're just going to let this go. And he tried really, really, really hard for that to happen. And when it didn't work, they tried their next big move, which was give them Barack Obama. Give them something to sink their teeth in. You got to get, these behind the scenes conversations are going on. Mr. President, we've got all these cards. They're hanging on to these cards, by the way. All the things that we're wanting them to do, they have them. Yeah. They have them, but they're waiting for their right time to play them, okay? Yeah. So they've been holding on to this. Tulsi didn't uncover this, okay? They've been hanging on to it. They finally told her, okay, Tulsi, you can go out. You can be the one putting you on the field now. You can play this card, okay? Go make this play. So they're giving us this in hopes that we will be distracted from the Epstein thing, okay? So now Trump is coming out essentially admitting that he's on the list, all but admitting that he's on the list. But look at all these other names that are on the list. I ain't never went to no island. OK, so there's a lot going on where this is all tied together and we're going to get into it tonight. But there's even more news that has been breaking besides what we chose for our headlines today. Leah's still pulling up tabs and I'm not sure how we're going to get through it. But last but not least, I'm giving my own story here today. Most of you guys know that we have completely, I know we actually have people, I think, tuning in today just because of this. If you're here for drama, you ain't going to get it. You're going to get political drama. You save that for when we actually do our show on it. However, we have been trying to dismantle everything that Scott Kesterson put into our lives, including and unfortunately all of my sound equipment. Okay. And I have no problem saying he bought very expensive mics. Y'all see those are not here anymore. Praise the Lord Jesus. And this sound mixing board. And I tried, when I turned it off on Sunday, I was like, it's the last day we're going to use it. And it's back again because the one that I bought's not working. So I did something awesome. I called Sweetwater today. And I spoke with a man. You're not going to believe this. What do you think his first name is?
Scott.
No.
What is it?
Maxwell. No. I kid you not. Not Max. Maxwell.
Did you
like Ghislaine?
Make the joke?
Max. No, I didn't because I didn't put two and two together until I was putting the show together. And I was like, Maxwell, isn't that what in the world? So Maxwell helped me to find exactly what I need over at Sweetwater. Super impressed and pleased with them. And so that's going to be coming in the mail this week. So just say a bunch of prayers because I believe that there is some demonic mojo bad stuff going on. So we're trying to get everything out, get rid of it, and not have it here in our system. So prayers for that, because I already have my own weaknesses when it comes to technology and getting a little bit frustrated about it. But today went very well. And I was very pleased to talk to Maxwell over at Sweetwater. And I'm very happy to promote them because he went overboard in helping me figure out what's going on because the one that I had bought wasn't working and I was very frustrated about it. So anyway, shout out to Sweetwater. If you guys need any kind of sound or podcasting equipment, boom, there it is. They've done a phenomenal job and Maxwell was so great. So, but I just wanted to say that I thought that was so funny.
That is
like, what are the odds
the
that the
odds?
awesome dude that I talked to today, his name is Maxwell. And I was like, you know what, Lord, thank you. Sometimes you just need a little sign. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just need a little bit of a encouragement that God's saying, like, you're on the right track.
So I have an interesting story, and she might be watching. There was a young mom named Sarah who messaged Michelle. We've been doing a little farm stand out front and selling plants, blackberry plants, raspberry plants. I think I've got a couple walnuts out there, walnut trees, little saplings. And we're selling some eggs and some tomatoes.
Kombucha.
So you posted because a lot of people want kombucha starters. So
I know.
I had this idea.
It's like sourdough, but different.
Yeah, so we thought, well, why don't we try to sell those? We're not making much money on it because like the jar itself is like $1.
I know, right? No, it's more of the principle of the matter to share the excess of what you had. I was going to give it to the pigs.
Yeah.
So instead, we decided to make little jars, add a little bit of extra kombucha tea. If you guys are familiar with it, it's like liquid yogurt. And what I mean by that is, no, that would be kefir. But like it has the same probiotics in it as yogurt. It's very good for you.
Yeah, so she came by real crunchy, and she actually had she has a little stand out front where she's selling sourdough bread.
Oh, that's awesome.
So she's a mom of 5.
Love it.
She got 3 kids and then twins. And
like the twins aren't their kids.
No, she's got 3 and then 2 are twins. So
that's
you hear
5. When you hear a lot of kids, you hear twins, right? Mm-hmm. Cantrells, they doing it one by one, baby.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Right, and I can't say what I can't say.
Okay.
Keep talking before I spill beans.
Okay, so she comes in, she pulls in this giant, the giant,
the big one,
the big ones,
the big van.
Yeah,
it's not even a van at that point, is it? It's like a truck. Mm-hmm. It's like a big rig. It's a bus.
It's a mini bus.
Yeah, sure.
It's a mini bus, and well, you have to have it now because all of our kids are like under 5.
And then everybody has to have a car seat.
Everybody's in a car seat.
I hate regulations. I mean, I want kids to be safe and everything, but this is getting out of hand.
What would you do if you had 5? What other vehicle would you use if you have to have a car seat for a 5-year-old?
I don't know.
We didn't. We just put them in the front seat, no seat belts.
Man, we rode on laps, dude. I know. When there was too many people in the car.
I know. We just squished them in. The Amish put them on the back of like a buggy.
In chairs. Have you seen that? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to go Amish. So here's what's going to happen because I'm not worried about this. When I have kids, if I have kids, Lord willing, I'm going to have kids. I know I'm pushing.
There's no regulations for the Amish.
You get the trailer. I have seen them take their kitchen chairs and ratchet strap those puppies down.
And but what's so funny is that they sit in the chairs, but
that's legal.
But they don't seatbelt them into the chairs.
Why? Because they have a religious exemption.
It's hilarious.
Can't ride in the open back of a truck, but the Amish. Which, you know what is so sad? It's like way more dangerous. What they're doing is way more dangerous with no regulations.
You just fall right off the chair.
Well, yeah, but like we've lost Amish friends from car accidents and buggies and stuff.
Sure. So she pulls in and mom gives her some sauerkraut and she's wanting to get started. She said she's got too many more chickens than you're allowed to have. You're supposed to have 6. But she's getting into doing this. She said she was homeschooled, but it was more like her parents' faith. And she said 2 years ago, the Lord hit her upside the head and said, "What are you doing?" And she just started to do all the things. Mm-hmm. So when her husband gets sick, she gives him like turmeric's her big thing. You know, child just sprained her wrist. Or like, here's turmeric. Yeah. So she's got all these tinctures that she's making.
That's awesome.
Right. All these turmeric tinctures. She said she would start with sourdough because she thought that was easy. And I said, no, actually sourdough is pretty hard. So if you can do everything else. So she got a crock to make
We had a sauerkraut crock that you didn't like as well as the ones that we have.
Yeah, I didn't.
It was specifically for kimchi. Mm-hmm. The way it had the weights and stuff.
Yeah, it's a great crock. I just didn't like how it worked. So she got that. She got a tomato, and then she told me that they're trying to find property somewhere, and that they had put a bid on some property, but it fell through. And she doesn't really have she didn't say this yet. So I just said, "Hey, can I pray with you?" My mom gave him some waters, and so I prayed with her. And I looked up when I was done praying, and she just was crying. Aww. And she goes, "Nobody has ever prayed with me before,
like ever prayed like that." That's crazy.
And especially about like the homesteading stuff because she's like, I don't know anybody. I just started doing it.
Yeah.
I said, come watch our shows. If you're watching, Sarah, hello.
Hi, Sarah.
She sent me a video with her little daughter saying,
so technically Sarah needs to know she sent me the video because I'm the one that posted. So I need to put us in a group message because she actually talked to you. But so don't get confused. We do that to people sometime.
So that was really kind of encouraging. I told her that, she could come by with her kids and do a little farm tour and they want to do all the things and that there are groups out there to join to encourage you to do all the things.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
That's awesome. So Kimberly says, I am the youngest of 5, and I sat in the hatch of a Pinto. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know what? And y'all lived. I mean, are all 5 of you alive? Did you die in a car crash? Did anybody not make it out alive? You know, it was fine back then. Jim says, put the kids in the back seat, parents or big kids up front. And the opposite is true now. Like, don't they want, oh, that's right. No, the kids do have to be in the back seat. It's just weird to me because what do you do with the kids that like, you know, failure to thrive? They're like skinny little things.
They have to be in this car
seat. They have to be in a car
like
seat till they're like 18 or something crazy. 16 till they can like drive. I don't know what the age is. It's just getting out of hand.
It's a weight limit actually is what it is instead of a age.
Well, but then once the age kicks in, it kicks in. It's not like you need a booster seat once you become driving. Somebody told me that the other day. You know.
So if you're only 55 pounds, yeah.
Like what if you're just a tiny little human? Mm-hmm. You know,
a tiny little human.
You don't have a lot going on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I do. So I don't know what Trump is saying.
Oh my gosh.
I don't really quite
Do I need to
understand.
pull? Are your tabs all the way up?
Mostly up.
Mostly up. Okay.
Mostly up. Yeah, for sure. We're going to talk about this on Sunday, but I thought I'd drop it here. So Macron in France is suing Candace Owens over Candace Owens calling Macron's wife, Brigitte, a man.
Right.
So I don't know about the man thing, but in the documents that they supposedly served to Kansas to prove that she was a woman, they admit that they had a relationship that started when she was a teacher, like 36 or 37, and he was 15 of legal age.
So I thought that when we were covering it the first time, we thought that she was in her 40s because she had a daughter, supposedly, that was Macron's age.
She does. She was late 30s.
So I saw clips of this. Candace Owens' response. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm ready. Let's take it to discovery because why are there no pictures of you raising your children? Why are there no pictures of you growing up anywhere on the internet? Well, I kind of take a little bit of like, not exactly the Macron side, because we called this out. We called it out before it was cool. Can I just for 1 second, and I know you guys that are like everydayers for Resistance Chicks indulge this probably more than you should. But please allow me to wax nostalgic for when Resistance Chicks were like the top news, that we were the top search result. We were some of the only podcasters out there, literally. Okay. Before Candace Owens, there was Resistance Chicks. Okay. Okay, pumpkin. So before Candace was covering that Brigitte was a man, Resistance Chicks were covering the fact that she, as a woman, I do believe she's a woman, had a relationship with Macron, and then you can't call it that, okay, when he was 15 years old and she had a daughter the same age, in the same grade, in the same school as this little boy. And his parents objected to this quote unquote relationship and told Brigitte to leave him alone. Stop it. So I don't know how much Candace Owens has covered that aspect. I don't think that she does because she's so convinced that Brigitte was a man that she doesn't cover the fact that I believe she was a woman who had children and was a pedophile towards a male student. That's my take. That's the Resistance Chicks official take. But we were covering that long before Candace Owens went, oh, it's just a dude.
Yeah.
I think the reason why she looks like a dude is because she's had so much work done to try to, what was the name of that movie where those women tried to stay super young?
I have breaking news for you, though. It's all over. The show's over. We're done. Because we now, I just need to know.
Yeah.
Everybody go hide in your basements. It's time to,
do I need to pull this up?
You can.
No,
I do have them all up now.
I don't want it. Okay. I don't want to pull it up. I saw it. I saw
possibly.
it in the corner of my eye. Stop it.
Hostile. So this is how they're reading this.
Leah.
Alien threat has been detected. We have an unknown interstellar object, a shocking new study claims. A mysterious intergalactic object could potentially be hostile alien spacecraft that's slated to attack our planet in November. Because November, according to a controversial new study by a small group of scientists, The consequences, should the hypothesis turn out to be correct, could potentially be dire for humanity. The researchers wrote in the inflammatory paper, which was published July 16 to the preprint server ARXIV. Dubbed 3I Atlas, the interstellar entity was discovered on July 1st, rocketing towards the sun at more than 130,000 miles per hour, Live Science reported. Less than 24 hours later, it was confirmed to be an interstellar object with initial observations suggesting that it could be a comet that measures up to 15 miles in diameter, larger than Manhattan. However, in the new paper, the trio of researchers suggested that it might be a piece of extraterrestrial spy technology in disguise. One of the researchers, Avi Loeb, a prominent Harvard astrophysicist known for linking extraterrestrial objects to alien life, previously made waves after floating the theory that 2017 interstellar object could be an artificial recon probe sent by an alien civilization based on its odd shape and acceleration. In this study, which he collaborated with Adam Hibbard and Adam Crowell of the Initiative for Interstellar Studies in London, Lowe postulated that the 3I Atlas trajectory suggests a similarly alien origin. The trio felt the object's speed, which was significantly faster than Oumuamua and the other objects, and the fact that it entered our solar system from a different angle than its predecessors offer various benefits to the extraterrestrial intelligence.
Do you want to play this video?
But I don't.
Jesse Waters.
You can in a minute.
It was just ready to go, and now there's an ad going.
Tons of ads.
Unbelievable.
Tons of ads.
New York Post with the ads. See, this is what at this point, I feel like, what was what's the one that they always make fun of? Is it the New York something?
It's not. You just have to scroll down because these people do not want to watch these ads.
Okay, fine.
If it comes up, it comes up. One benefit is that, are you kidding?
No, just click close.
Okay.
Close.
One benefit is that the 3I Atlas will make close approaches to Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, which could allow aliens to stealthily plant spy gadgets there. When the so-called undercover UFO reaches its closest to the sun in late November, it will be concealed from Earth's view. This could be intentional.
Okay, what
to
is
avoid
this
detailed
picture?
observations
There's no way
from
this
Earth-based telescopes.
There's no way that whatever is this clear of a picture. This isn't even real. This can't even. Your next picture looks way more reasonable.
Loeb warns that this could. It says that if this anomaly is a technological artifact, this could support the dark forest hypothesis, which argues we haven't found signs of extraterrestrial entities because they are remaining undercover to shield themselves from predators or prey. Loeb warns that this could suggest that an attack is likely and could possibly require defense measures to be undertaken. The problem is that the 3I Atlas is traveling too fast for an Earth-based spacecraft to intercept it before it exits the solar system. It is therefore impractical for Earthlings to land on the 3I Atlas at closest approach to boarding chemical rockets, since our best rockets reach almost a third of that speed. However, other scientists have thrown cold water on the so-called alien origins of the object, which they believe is a comet. All evidence points to it being an ordinary comet that was ejected from another solar system, just as countless billions of comets have been ejected from our solar system.
Right. So here, can I give you my analysis on this?
It is the aliens. Bring on the aliens.
Nope. Here's the thing. Here is the thing. Ain't I been saying it, Ernie? What did Michelle say?
They'll bring the aliens.
Find the meme. Somebody needs to find the meme where's that woman is like, hey, bring in the aliens.
Bring in the aliens.
Let me tell you how bad the Trump administration is doing right now. They decided, what did I say at the start of the show? We've got all these cards. We've got all these things that we can play. If they are bringing out the start of the alien card, they're literally going, start the alien card, start playing the alien card, start dropping the hints of the alien. It's going to take a minute because they got to get the ball rolling. It's got to disseminate. Other places have to start picking it up. But they are starting to drop the UFO stuff and the alien stuff. Why? Because they only have a few plays left that they can make because it's getting that bad. All right. So at some point, this is what has Michelle been saying for the past 3.5 or 4 years. Post COVID, the next shoe to drop, the next COVID that they are going to do You heard it here, folks. Please, somebody save this timestamp on tonight's video from July 25th at 8:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Michelle is saying the next shoe to drop is now going to be the alien card. That is what they're going to do to freak us out, to control us. 6 feet apart will be nothing when they start telling you have to stay in your house because an alien is going to come and abduct you. You know that Trump promised to tell us about the drones on day one.
I know.
Didn't do it. What are the drones?
The New Jersey drones.
I'm saying that this is all part of some sort of Agenda 2021.
I want to know about the drones.
Alien drop.
But you know what's important?
What?
Coke is going to go back to cane sweetened soda.
Well.
Yeah. So Trump and the Health and Human Services RFK Jr.'s crackdown on the ultra-processed food industry complex has triggered a seismic shift in the beverage world. Coca-Cola is reformulating select sodas with cane sugar. That's just sugar, by the way. Pepsi instead of corn syrup. Pepsi Cola's CEO has indicated similar moves. The pivot away from high fructose corn syrup to sweetener long associated with Americans' obesity and metabolic health crisis marks a major victory for Make America Healthy Again. So they want Donald Trump. I have been speaking out about Coca-Cola. I have been speaking to Coca-Cola about using real cane sugar in Coke in the United States, and they have agreed to do so. I'd like to thank all of those in authority at Coca-Cola. This will be a very good move by them. You'll see. It's just better. Share a Coke with Trump. This is where we're at. So where the DEI has died, is dead. And they know which side
their bread
Coke
is buttered on.
So they want.
Wow.
This is from the White House.
Oh my God.
The White House is now free advertising for Coke. It literally is put out by the White House.
There's a little, let me scroll down. Look at this. It says the White House with Donald Trump.
House.
So this is a free endorsement by, essentially that's the deal made, right? Like you get a free endorsement by Donald Trump.
So the problem is the U.S. doesn't grow a great deal of cane, making up about 30% of overall American sugar supplies. And the rest comes from imports about 2.2 metric tons, or American-grown sugar beets that perform better in colder climates. If Coke's cane-sweetened version is a success, it would put a dent into U.S. supplies, and it's going to make your sugar cost more. So I just want everybody to know that Coke is a treat to be used every once in a while, but it is deadly, whether it's high fructose corn syrup or sugar. So you guys know this, but maybe you don't. This is a little health tip for you. When you are drinking sweetener and you're drinking your calories, sugar-based. So those sugar-based calories, they go straight to your stomach, into the belly area, and it goes to your belly area.
Yeah.
So if you're drinking a lot of even fruit juices, pops and sodas, or even eating a lot of candy, it starts to accumulate around your waist and your belly. Okay. So it's not good to drink a lot of sugary-based things. Chew them.
It's better honestly, to eat your sugar than drink it, is what you're saying.
And even fruit, it's better to eat it than to drink it because it goes straight to your stomach and it gets stored as belly fat.
Exactly.
So I don't really like to talk about that. I don't know. It just feels uncomfortable and weird to me. But just in case you need to know,
it's better to eat your sugar than to drink it. Just that full stop. Like whether it's fruit, whether it's good sugars or bad sugars.
Michelle and I do like fizzy things. So we like the carbonated waters that have a little flavored deal to them, and those are our fun thing.
So also, and this is, I just can never fail to have an opportunity to say this on air, whether you are drinking pop or not, or excuse me, that's not what I mean to say. Whether you are a pop drinker or a diet pop drinker, please, if you're a diet pop drinker, stop being a diet pop drinker. Like diet pop will put you in an early grave. So like I would rather you drink full-fledged Mountain Dew than diet Coke.
Because aspartame causes cancer.
It's the worst thing on planet Earth for you.
You can work off the calories from the pop, and sugar is not.
Yes.
Sugar is not great for you, but it's not as bad as aspartame.
Speaking as a former soda addict, okay, I have been set free. Hi, my name is Michelle. It hasn't been that long since my last Coke, but I'm not addicted to it anymore. Praise Jesus. I use, speaking of kombucha, is what I was able to use to come off of soda and then just go straight to water. Now I love water. However, I don't want to rag on the Coke drinkers and the pop drinkers because a lot of you, life is just weird and it's hard. And I don't want you to go feeling bad. And like Leah said, Coke will kill you. It's not. Stop it. Don't feel guilty if you are a pop addict. Okay. We've been there. I have drank soda my entire life. Okay. My whole family used to go through like more soda than you can possibly imagine. So I have a mass amount of empathy for people that are drinking soda. So I do want to cover the fact that yes, the cane sugar version will be better for you than high fructose corn syrup. So this is a win. Okay, so don't feel bad about if you're a soda drinker. This is not the time where you get your feelings hurt with Leah and Michelle. You're fine. Okay, God will set you free, just like He did me, and you just believe for it. Don't feel guilty because what happens is you feel guilty, and then that makes you sick too, and we don't want that.
Yeah. So Greg Abbott actually tweeted out property taxes are in their special session. So legislation to cut property taxes.
Federally.
No, Greg Abbott. This is
for Texas. So Trump wants to cut them federally. He's coming out hard against that. And I'm like, I'm not sure. Yeah, I saw it today on Instagram. I'm not sure how effective that. I don't think that he can. I don't think he has the legal right to do that.
Well, in Texas, they do. And Greg Abbott is following the pathway of the greatest governor alive right now, which is Ron DeSantis, and he's trying to cut property taxes. I've seen the argument that seniors shouldn't have to pay them, and I just think that no one should have to pay them. And so that argument kind of falls on deaf ears for me because property taxes are a tax on unrealized gains. If you never sell your house, you've never made any money. So how can they tax you? The idea of a tax is that you either are buying something and acquiring something, and there's a kind of a penalty based on what you're buying, or you have an income tax and they're taxing you on what you're bringing in.
It used to be that properties were taxed because properties were income producers. Mm-hmm. And that's why.
I mean, if your bank account has $10,000 in it and they start to tax you on having $100,000 in it, that's ridiculous.
For just keeping a thing. And besides that, though, this is unconstitutional and it's against the Declaration of Independence, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You cannot tax somebody on their shelter. Right. Well, you can't say, it's the same thing for the food tax. Like the food tax should be gone in every state, too. It is here in Ohio, but in Oklahoma, you do get taxed on food. Yeah. But you can't tax people on things like water.
I bought this computer, and you're going to tell me you're just going to tax me on it, and then you're going to reassess my computer. You can't
tax somebody on something that they just have.
And you're going to reassess me every 3 years on how my computer is valued at. And then they say, but that could be the resale value. But what if I'm never going to sell it? Exactly. And then what if the price goes down, which property can go down?
Exactly. And then you're wasting your taxpayer dollars on all these assessments and the whole programs behind it. Right? Property taxes are unconstitutional. So bravo to Texas. Yeah, they're doing a good job. Right. Ohio's trying to do it too, by the way.
Well, Ohio is different. So if we could get our governor on board, it would be way easier.
I know.
Right now, we're just having to sludge through trying to collect signatures to get it on a people's-led initiative. But if our Republican-led Senate and our Republican-led House and our Republican governor, they could do this tomorrow.
There are people we do have representatives that are working on it. Yeah. But right now it's a citizen-led initiative that we're trying to get signatures for.
All right. Well, let's go to Russiagate. This is my amount of belief that anybody of significance, whether it's Comey or Brennan or Obama, are going to even be indicted, much less serve any prison time. It's less than zero. It's negative.
You think it's just not going to happen?
That's not going to happen. It can't. And then later on, even though they put this out as meat to the dogs, shut up about Epstein. Yeah. When they realized we weren't taking this bait, they went back to the Epstein thing. It's guys, I'm not going to play ping pong with these people. My brain can't handle it. However, I'm going to cover it just because it's happening right now. And Tulsi Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard's the greatest. No, the deep state said, go ahead and release this. It has nothing to do with Tulsi Gabbard because the director of the CIA, Dan, what's his name?
Ratcliffe.
He was head over the same organization and he could have classified all this stuff.
Is there enough here to indict Obama or Brennan or Clapper or any of these people?
Well, based upon what Tulsi Gabbard has said, it sounds like it. Now, remember, there's the issue of presidential immunity for the sitting president of the United States.
Right.
So any indictment of President Obama would have to go through a presidential immunity analysis to make sure that what he's doing as his core constitutional responsibilities, he's absolutely immune. What he's doing in his official capacity, separate from core constitutional responsibilities, he's presumptively immune. But here's the problem. What President Obama did after he left office, when he continued to conspire after he left office, it's an ongoing conspiracy. If he continued to cover it up, if he continued to conspire, he cannot claim presidential immunity.
So, Mike, there are people that say, in fact, the New York Times said, this is not a story because what the president was talking about was digital conspiracy to hack into the voting records, not a propaganda war. And that's what he had changed. Instead of focusing on the digital, he instead went to a propaganda war. And that makes all of this nonsense.
No, the Democrats' argument is nonsense. They went after President Trump for the non-crime of objecting to a presidential election, which is allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887 and the First Amendment. We don't see Democrats objecting to Republican presidential wins in 1968, 2000, 2004, and 2016. Al Gore, John Kerry, and Hillary Clinton aren't in prison for objecting, right? And so they went after Trump for the non-crime of objecting to a presidential election. What they did was a real crime. They politicized and weaponized intel agencies and law enforcement to take out a presidential candidate, to take out the president of the United States, to take out a former president of the United States. They lied to a FISA court. They continue to lie to Congress as late as 2002 in congressional testimony when there was allegations of perjury to cover up this ongoing criminal conspiracy. They continue to lie to this day. So these are real crimes. I can't think of a bigger scandal in American history than politicizing and weaponizing a political party, including their leader in the White House, politicizing and weaponizing intel agencies and law enforcement to take out a political opponent and a sitting president and a former president. That's what you do in third world Marxist hellholes.
Address critics of people who say this is just political retribution. This is just a banana republic type stuff. You're just going after Donald Trump's enemies.
We are the Trump 47 Justice Department should and must bring accountability, because this is republic ending stuff by what Obama and Biden and Hillary and Brennan and Clapper and Comey and Rice and so many others did here. When you politicize and weaponize law enforcement and intel to go after political enemies, you can't get worse than that. Those are Soviet style tactics. That's Iranian style tactics. That's CCP style tactics. Those are republic ending tactics, and there must be accountability for this.
So, okay, Michelle, I moved a couple of these over to the left, but they're over here. You have to go find them. I would like for you to find this one with Nick Sorter.
Okay.
An AI version of Obama being arrested in front of Trump that Trump truthed out, which was just, I think it was kind of
Give me 1 second.
Embarrassingly
these
low.
Highlighting. I'm not able to see them. Hang on 1 second.
But I'm going to go over this from Tulsi Gabbard. New evidence has emerged of the most egregious weaponization and politicization of intelligence in American history. Per President Donald Trump's directive, I have declassified a House Intel Oversight Majority Staff report that exposes how the Obama administration manufactured the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that they knew was false, promoting the lie that Vladimir Putin and the Russian government helped Trump win the 2016 election. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people, working with their partners in the media to promote the lie. In order, and you can just play that, people can watch that while I read here. In order to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump, essentially enacting a years-long coup against him. So she says, here are the top Obama Russia hoax lies debunked by today's.
I didn't know
that it would be his song.
This is AI. This is fake.
AI. Obviously, this has not happened. This has not happened, by the way.
But Donald Trump retweeted this on Truth Social. of Obama in jail.
But it's not going to happen. So, you guys, I don't like the fact that he even tweeted it. It's all a joke.
It is a joke.
It's a joke.
I bet Obama's even laughing.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's not like the whole you'd be in jail. Did Clinton ever go to jail? So here's the lie that Putin and the Russian government helped Trump win the 2016 election. Truth. Obama, CIA, Brennan, and others fabricated the Russia hoax, suppressed the intelligence showing Putin was preparing for a Clinton victory, manufactured findings from shoddy sources, disobeyed IC standards, and knowingly lied to the American people. The CIA analysis to Brennan. We don't have direct information on that. Putin wanted to get Trump elected. Okay. There was a lie that the fabricated Steele dossier was not used as a source in the Obama administration's January 2017 intelligence community assessment of the November 2016 election. The truth is, not only did Brennan, Comey, and Clapper include the Steele dossier in the intelligence community assessment, they overruled senior intel officials who warned them that it was fabricated and not to use it. Brennan agreeing the dossier fails to meet intel standards. Yes, but doesn't it ring true? Their third lie. The Obama administration's January intelligence community assessment was an independent intelligence community product produced with apolitical analysis. The truth. Obama ordered the intelligence community to create an intelligence community assessment they knew was false, promoting a contrived narrative with the intent of undermining the legitimacy of and power of a duly elected president. So I guess these are the three top lies. And so you can see, if you scroll up, then you see the different pictures, or her little chart here. Secret Russian meeting with Obama officials meet to plan the Russian hoax. The real intel assessment looks like Russia lacked the intent and the capability to hack the U.S. elections. Putin had no preference for either candidate. POTUS briefing pulled IC pulls product that would contradict the Russian hoax narrative. The Washington Post secret CIA assessment says Russia was trying to help Trump win the White House. NBC News, U.S. officials, Putin personally involved in U.S. election hack. Deep state leaks, fake weaponized assessment. Putin developed a, quote, clear preference for Trump and, quote, aspired to help his chances of victory. On December 9th, Obama ordered the IC is tasked with new assessment to claim election was hacked. The CIA warning to Brennan, we don't have direct information that Putin wanted to Trump elected. And the ICA was subject to unusual directives from the president. Now, the interesting thing about all of this, and I will say this is a slightly new piece of information, is that this puts Obama at the front, whereas previously for the past 8 years, we have only heard about Clapper and Comey and Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, and that it was all these underlings that pushed it forward, when in reality, this report says it was Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because I just don't see Obama as that savvy. No, or even that he cares. It seems like all these guys are puppets. You know, I feel like he is way more interested in hanging out with Beyonce than trying to hatch a plot against Trump. You know what I mean?
I do. And however, okay, sorry, I'm stumbling on my words here, but I think about Michelle Obama a lot, probably more than I should.
She has a podcast now.
She does. They are more about being famous people than they are about running the country. Like they don't, I'm not saying that there isn't
any work.
Exactly. They're lazy. And I think that they realize that their famedom, you know, the era of 2008 to 2016 was a different world. The internet didn't expose things the way that it does now, and they could hide. And so as much as like the rest of us didn't like that they were in office, there really wasn't much we could rally around to. There was nowhere for us to talk about things. There was no, like, Alex Jones nobody had even heard of him. Okay. Mm-hmm. And now that the internet is what it is. It's this beast that like you can't hide. And, you know, I think about, we had to go TV shopping for Uncle Jack because he had this like 12-year-old plasma TV that apparently plasma TVs get hot over time. And every time I walked in his room, I was like, it feels like a sauna in here. What is going on? Come to find out, his plasma TV, like you could cook an egg on it. So we decided, okay, we're getting rid of the plasma TV. We're going to go and shop for TVs. Do you remember when TVs started becoming more and more realistic and you didn't want to watch them because you didn't want to see every fine line and wrinkle and mole and bit of cellulite on someone's arm? Like, I don't want to see that kind of, that's what the internet is now. No matter who you are, there is nothing that you can do if you are if you put yourself out there in the public eye, they're going to find every social and, you know, personal fine line and wrinkle and everything wrong about you. And I think that they were just tired of living under that level of like scrutiny in the microscope because I just think like, oh, Michelle Obama being a man, is that real? Like, I totally buy Michelle Obama being a man way more than Brigitte Macron, by the way, just for the record, since we talked about it earlier. Is she a man? Is she not a man? I don't know. I've seen the Ellen DeGeneres clip too, and it looks a little sketchy. I don't know what she's got going on in her pants, but it looks a little bit weird. However, I think that they were just tired of that stuff. And I think that they realized that they lost their popularity. Like, whether you like it or not, it's very interesting that the Obamas, I think, were the first president that even though we didn't want them and we didn't like them, we were civil towards them as conservatives and Republicans. And that's just not the case anymore. Like, there's no civil disagreeing at this point you know what I'm getting at? So I think I don't think that the Obamas have any desire to at least be in the forefront because Michelle Obama could have run for president either time. She could have run for the 2020 election and she could have run in 2024 and really would have given Donald Trump a run for his money. I think that if Michelle Obama had been the choice in 2024, did I say 2016? I meant 2020 and 2024. I think that if Michelle Obama had been the choice in 2024 instead of Kamala Harris, that there's a good chance that she would have won. So the fact that she didn't run tells you all you need to know about what they care about. So I don't know. I do think that the Obamas do love the behind the scenes ruling. You know, when Notre Dame caught fire, they just so happened to be on a gondola ride on the river there. And I think, and it's like, okay, you know, I think they are involved in a lot more than you think though.
So guys, I don't really want to talk about this. I'm going to tell you why. I have PTSD. I spent an ungodly amount of time breaking down the Russiagate hoax, and I really can't stand when people call me like some sort of traitor or like a lefty liberal, because I spent hours of my life researching this thing. We spent hours on our show playing the Trey Gowdy clips and all of the clips. So I'm just going to play a few, even though it hurts me to remember this god-awful time of this, of basically... You know, there was a couple, 2 or 3 years, guys, of our whole life where all it was Russiagate, and the Mueller report and Durham. And I have a video on this for in a minute that will lighten the mood. So just hang tight.
Did the CIA rely on it?
No.
Why not?
The dossier.
Because we didn't. It wasn't part of the corpus of intelligence information that we had. It was not in any way used as a basis for the intelligence community assessment that was done. It was not.
Okay, there is Brennan lying that they didn't use the dossier.
Right.
We've known this. It hurts my brain, Michelle, because it's like, oh, this is new information. No, we have said this a mazillion times. My brain is fried saying that Brennan lied and they all lied, that the dossier, they didn't use it. They said it's all a lies. Next clip, please. We're going to get through this as quickly as possible because I truly have PTSD. No. Just scroll down because I just tweeted a whole bunch. So you just needed to be, no.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so go to X. Just open up a new window.
A new tab. Okay.
X profile because I just brought up a couple. Can I breathe? I'm going to try not. I'm going to think of happy thoughts.
We'll play this one.
Scroll down. Okay. So this is Molly Hemingway, bombshell, Russiagate, whatever.
Well, what happened when you go back to 2016 is the Obama administration hid intelligence showing that Russia's meddling in the 2016 election was no big deal. They suppressed that because they didn't want Donald Trump to know about it. Then they immediately began leaking to the Washington Post and to the New York Times false things that weren't true, the opposite, that Russia had conspired with Trump to steal the election. And the Washington Post and New York Times, when they were asked to publish these things that were not true, they just went ahead and did it. They took the word of John Brennan and other sources like that who had made these false claims. Then the Obama administration manufactures a completely fake intelligence assessment, again with this claim that Russia had conspired with Trump to steal the election, and they leaked that to the media as well. Well, when they were receiving these leaks, the media did whatever these people wanted. They pushed this absolutely delusional conspiracy theory for years. And now that we know that, and it was a fake story, now that we know the real story, and the real story is shocking, the Obama administration suppressed real intelligence, and then they manufactured fake intelligence for the purpose of undermining a legitimately elected administration. The media are hiding it. And why? Because they were complicit in the crimes that were committed. They can't very well report what actually happened because the whole conspiracy would have gone nowhere if the media hadn't been so willing to just republish these lies.
Yes, I know, because I was there and we talked about it, and they lied and they lied. And here's another lie. Never forget, 2 years and $35 million. Special counsel Bob Mueller claimed that he had no idea who Fusion GPS was. Fusion GPS paid Christopher Steele to write the dossier.
The name of that firm was Fusion GPS. Is that correct? And you're on page 103? 103, that's correct, volume 2. When you talk about the firm that produced the Steele reporting, the name of the firm that produced that was Fusion GPS. Is that correct?
I'm not familiar with that.
Let me just help you. It's not a trick question. It was Fusion GPS. Now, Fusion GPS produced the opposition research. The name of.
So when we watched this Mueller report, it was like watching a man with dementia come out.
He didn't put together the report.
It's not his report. He was there as the face of it. They thought maybe they could do a quick Cliff Notes and send him out front. And here, this is what really
Russia hacking the election to elect Trump is the end of our democracy. Votes were definitely affected. Russia hacked the election to tilt it to Mr. Trump.
The Russians definitively hacked the election.
Russia did hack the election.
No doubt. The Russians hacked the election.
Yes. Russia hacked the election.
In fact, Russia hacked the election.
President-elect Donald Trump still not sounding convinced that Russia hacked the election.
The president does not want to come to terms with the fact that the Russians hacked the election.
President Trump says he still wonders if the Russians hacked the election.
If you can get him to accept that Russia hacked the election, see if you can get him to accept who won the Civil War.
If he admits it, it casts a shadow on his victory over Hillary Clinton.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Russia hacked the election.
Let's be clear, Russia hacked the election. Definitively, Russia hacked the election, and Russia is doing it again now.
Election-related cyber hacking.
Cyber hacking of U.S. elections. Cyber hacking of the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
Russia was cyber hacking the election.
The CIA, the FBI, NSA.
All of these intelligence organizations.
17 intelligence agencies.
All conclude that Russia hacked the election.
If we find out that Donald Trump just theoretically was colluding with Russia while they were hacking the election, that is completely impeachable.
This dossier alleged a conspiracy between the Trump campaign and the Russian effort to hack the election.
The director of national intelligence, the head of the National Security Agency, the head of the FBI, all of these intelligence experts saying Russia hacked the election.
The FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the former director of national intelligence, James Clapper, I mean, they've all said this. So to believe that that's wrong, you have to believe they're all involved in an elaborate conspiracy to get Donald Trump, which seems a little far-fetched to me.
And now we're finding out that it is unequivocally true.
So in 2015, I was praying in the Spirit for about a month and starting in May, and I've told this to you guys before, and I started praying over and over again in the spirit, and I kept saying Russia, 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 like that, over and over and over again. Russia, 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 Russia. And then I kept saying Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. But it was Russia, 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 and then I heard love Russia. And so God told me, I'm not making any bones about it, it's true. I have it written down. I literally have it written down. So whatever, you guys can see the email I wrote myself. In 2015, God spoke to me, and I didn't understand what this meant. Russia was not on my radar. Nobody's talking about Russia. In 2015, Russia might have has been, Fiji. Nobody's talking about it. And for me just to hear Russia, Russia, Russia over and over again, to the point where I was like, God, could I say anything else, please? Okay. Now I know that when I was praying in the spirit, I was praying through 2016, 2017, 2018. I don't really know what God was trying to speak to me specifically, but I can tell you now broadly, when I was at the first eclipse and I was telling a friend of ours, a viewer, about the Russia, 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 how God had spoken this to me. And then the Sunday, and I was like, oh my gosh, Sunday. I thought it meant the week of the day of the week. And so there was 7 years. I can't believe it's been, from eclipse to eclipse, so long time in life. And we were waiting for the second eclipse to come, and the Lord basically gave us a time and our nation a time to turn and repent and to seek him. And I do believe that judgments are going to be handed out and indictments from heaven are coming down. I don't think that they are going to look like what you and I had expected them to look like. I believe that MAGA is going to go down first. I believe that Trump is being exposed for who he is, and then the left will be exposed. The left has already been exposed for who they are. And they switch teams. They're switch hitters.
They do switch teams and they are switch hitters, but you know who's not? Everybody over at Faith and Freedom TV. Thank you guys for tuning in to Resistance Chicks right here at Faith and Freedom TV. We'll see you next time right here from resistancechicks.com. And if you'd like to tune into the rest of this episode, and you know you do, you can visit resistancechicks.com. And also, while you're there, visit us at shop.resistancechicks.com. And remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory if it's actually the truth.